Hi everyone. In this video I want to have a look at Topaz Photo AI and have a look at how it processes an image of my cat Newton. And we'll look at that right after this. Alright, thanks for sticking around everyone. As I said, in this video we'll be having a quick look, just a very quick run through of Topaz Photo AI, and we'll have a look at how it processes just a quick sort of happy snap of my cat Newton. Now, a couple of things I'll cover just before we get started on this. It's a pretty basic photo. It's certainly not a good photo. What I did was basically put an iPad under or just under Newton's face, just to light his face a little bit, and then I took a quick photo of his face. Now, I wanted to sort of test a lens that I was using, but I also wanted to create a little bit of noise in the photo because that allows me to test Topaz Photo AI. And that leads into the second thing, which is actually, what is Topaz Photo AI? Well, Topaz Photo AI is basically an advanced photo utility, I'll call it. What it does is it has a look at any photo that you give it, and it tries to work out how it can improve the sort of foundations of that photo. And by that, I mean, how can it improve noise? You know, does it need to remove any noise? Can it improve sharpness? Does it need sharpness being actually improved? And things like resolution and a whole range of other features as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this photo of Newton. And I'm just going to do that by basically just clicking on the image of him because I've opened it earlier. And it's loaded the image. It's applied a lens correction. And it's now working through the photo to say, hey, what things should I do? In this case, it said, hey, there's a bit of noise that needs to be removed, and the subject could do with some sharpening. So if you look at this actual image, on the left-hand side of this white bar is before, and on the right-hand side is after. So specifically, if you look at his eyes, you'll notice that there's a lot of noise before. And then if I go the other side, it's removed a lot of that noise. So it has definitely improved the noise and actually removed that. When I mentioned Topaz Photo AI, it is worth noting that this really doesn't process your image. So you're still actually going to have to do your photo editing and all of those things normally. But what this does is it actually removes the noise, sharpens the subject, and all of those things. So in this case, it's definitely removed the noise, and it's done it without really sacrificing sharpness too much. But it has also recommended to sharpen the subject. Now, it's identified the subject as the cat, so it's not trying to sharpen any of these other sort of areas that are unnecessary. And if you actually look over at that section, you'll see it's also removed a lot of noise in that shadow sort of black area as well. Now, it's not perfect though. And one thing that you'll probably notice here, if we look at this section above the cat's eye, it has actually sort of created some minor artifacts. Now, I've left this on the default settings, but we could try and bring down the DeNoise, and we could see, does that actually improve it? Once I drop those down, it's going to basically kind of reprocess that image and show a preview of that. So it doesn't immediately show the difference. It's actually going to have to try and reprocess that and resharpen it. But what you should notice is I've dropped those down, and it hasn't removed it, but it's definitely improved it from what it was before. So you do need some tweaking. In this case, to be completely honest, I don't really think that it needs a whole lot of sharpening. So I could just turn that off and leave it as is. But, you know, it depends on your photo as to what you'll actually need or won't need. Again, because I moved this, it had to reprocess that. But given that this is just now noise reduction, you can see that it has made a pretty big difference. Now, there are a couple of other things There are recover faces, preserve text. They don't apply to this specific photo. But two things that I'm interested in are adjust lighting and balance color. Now, adjust lighting basically says that it's going to try and improve under or overexposure. I'm not sure that this needs a whole lot in this case. I can't see, I mean, it's maybe reduced the exposure a little bit and balanced it out, but not a massive amount. If I zoom out, it might be a little bit easier to see. Again, it's going to reprocess though, so just bear that in mind that it'll take a second or two. So yeah, maybe it's just kind of balanced out the contrast and stuff on that. One of the other things though is balance color. What balance color does is it basically tries to remove color casts and adjust the temperature based on what it considers to be a neutral baseline. Now in this picture, it's probably a little bit cool because of the iPad screen. So balance color probably, would warm it up. And if you look on the left, that's the before, and on the right is the after. So it's definitely removed that cold kind of tint to the image and warmed it up a little bit. Again, this is default setting, so you could change that if you needed. But in this case, I think it's actually done a pretty good job, so I probably wouldn't change it. So if we look at side by side, this was the before and that's the after. It's definitely made a big difference to the image. And I think this is kind of one of those really useful tools where you can just try and get the best out of your image from the start, and then you can do all of your editing and tweaking and everything else later. I hope this has been useful. Thanks for watching.
Find out what it means, always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, let me